Today I have with me a literacy teacher that I consider to be a very good teacher, and she is teaching primary, which is first and second at our lab school, and they're mixed. The first and second graders are together. So I would like to ask you just a few questions.
Okay.
The first one is, why do you assess students?
Well, the purpose of assessment is to drive instruction. In other words, that's how I make my lesson plans for the next day, the next week. It's how I know what direction I need to go. I can tell what the students are doing well and what the weak areas are and where we need to work.
Okay. Second question is, what instruments do you use to assess reading?
Weekly, I take a running record
Okay.
on their text level where they're at. We also do a sight word assessment weekly. And then quarterly, we do a phonics assessment that's from the Literacy First to tell if they're able to, what phonics rules they're learning and how they're applying those. And then also the PASS, the phonemic awareness assessment that goes with Literacy First, to see are they able to put sounds together, are they starting to be able to separate words from part to whole and back.
Okay, so what do you learn from these assessments then, basically?
They show me where they are, especially the phonemic awareness, where they are developmentally with their sounds. With the running records, I know are the books we're reading too difficult? Are they too easy? Are they just right? And I find what are they doing while they read and what areas do we need to work on.
And you use the little gradient books, the really little simple books?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Very good. My next question is, what particular strategies do you use for reading?
Well, one thing is rereading. I think rereading familiar texts, familiar books is very important. It helps with fluency, helps with self-confidence as a reader. It helps reinforce the skills and the sight words that are in a particular book. Mm-hmm. So rereading is very important. And also, when we introduce a new book, with my students, I choose a sight word from the book, have them frame it, talk about the phonics rules that may apply to that word, and then we keep it in a little baggie, and then each time they come to reading group, we get those words out and review them, and then when we have a little collection, they take those home and they can practice them more at home.
So they really become their sight words?
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great. What type of assistance do you give to the students who really seem to struggle more than the others?
Well, one thing I think it's important to select texts that they enjoy and that they're interested in, so that they can feel some ownership and also have some background knowledge of the topic, whatever the book is. And then also rereading again, helping them feel confident as a reader, because seeing themselves as a reader is so important for those young ones.
That's so true. Okay. Okay, and my last question is, what type of assessments do you use for spelling?
For spelling, we use the Bears Developmental Spelling Assessment, and we give that quarterly. But from that, we determine what kind of words, what type of words, what pattern of words that the student is working on. So not what they've mastered and not what's too difficult, but what they kind of use but confuse sometimes. And they have a sort that they do twice a week, a different sort, and that's part of their work board time or their center activity that they do independently, but then it's checked by either a student that's farther along or by a teacher. And then we also have weekly spelling lists that are according to where they are in the developmental stage, and they work with those words, and then there's a test on Thursday where they spell the words and then use them in a dictation sentence.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you very much. This has been very helpful to us.
Thank you.
All righty.